feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now.
Hi and welcome. If you are new here, I'm delighted to have you. And if you're my previous subscribers, welcome back again to this wonderful channel and to our wonderful community. I'm so glad to be a part of it, and I'm so glad to have us share it together. So in today's video, we're going to be specifically focusing on how Donald Trump gets away from the Muller Report and whether or not he will get away from it. Now, with the statute of limitations, after 5 years, there's a statute of limitation, what means that the president can no longer be charged for obstruction of justice after that 5-year period, which means Donald Trump only has a couple more months before that becomes in his favor. So we're going to operate in this video. I'm going to give you a little bit of rundown, what Muller Report and Muller testimony was. It'll be very short and brief, I promise you. You can find a whole link to that article in the description below, along with all the timestamps in this video to kind of break down the video to make it easier for whatever it is that you're looking for. Anyway, I want to introduce you to Spacey, but quickly before we do, let's jump into the main part of today's video. So we have, this is being live streamed on January 26, 2021 at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And here are some quick disclaimers on your screen as well. Now, please keep in mind that this video is just for entertainment purposes only and for education purposes only as well. And here are some last minute disclaimers. We'll be starting very momentarily. I want to show you Spacey before we do begin. I think you'll like him. The part of the reason why I got him in the first place was to kind of bring a little bit of happiness and joy into a lot of our lives that we're starting to go through a lot of difficulty. And it is starting to become a lot harder for me to be able to communicate with you guys in a way that will bring you a sense of joy that maybe I couldn't do, but maybe he can. So this is Spacey. Right, I was able to bring him to life, give him a little bit of personality so he can interact with all of us. So I do hope you guys like him, and I hope that he wins your heart in the future. But anyway, let's jump into the main part of today's video. So we have here former special counsel Robert Mueller testimony on Russian meddling in the 2016 election. Was Mueller report indication that President Trump could face charges over once he leaves office, and that Mr. Trump could theoretically be charged once he returned to life as a private citizen, though current Justice Department guidelines say a sitting president cannot be indicted. Yeah, he has a little personality. Sometimes he likes to be a little attentive. If a Democrat wins the White House in 2020, a new president and attorney general might disagree. But any potential prosecution will run up against the statute of limitation for federal obstruction charges. Federal obstruction charges. Federal obstruction of justice crime carry a statute of limitation of 5 years, meaning that the government has 5 years from the time of the crime to prosecute someone, which means that Donald Trump is almost up and he's about to get away with it. Right, which would explain why I never saw Donald Trump going to jail, and it could be for this particular reason. There are exceptions, and Congress could theoretically extend the time limit if the government doesn't bring charges within 5 years, and an offender is safe from prosecution. In theory, though, a new president could also pardon Mr. Trump, just as President General Ford did for President Richard Nixon. And this is the source, CBS News, and you can find an article in the description of today's video. Now, as for the little topic that we're going to be covering in today's video, again, it's going to be timestamped. There's only 3 questions. Very short and brief video today. Yeah, you disagreeing with me, buddy? This is Spacey if you just hopped on. So, say hi. Hi, Lisa. Glad you caught me live. Let's jump in. Okay, so what is the statute of limitation on a potential charge against Trump? Let's see if there's any potentiality there. But there might not be, and that could be why he doesn't go to jail. Are you barking? No. Okay. What is the statute of limitation on a potential charges against Trump? What is the statute of limitation on potential charges against Trump? We'll be doing a poll soon on whether or not you like Spacey, or whether or not I should keep him, which I probably will. But I wanted to see what you guys thought of him. Okay. What is the statute of limitation on potential charges against Trump? Can you show us, Spirit? Okay. One more. Now he's dancing. He wants attention. Okay. Let me bring this back so you guys can see him and the cards. So we have here, the first card here is we have election night, right? This is my election night card, particularly on election night when you're watching it on the TV screen. And so the reason why this is very important and very significant is this card symbolizes something. It symbolizes a very significant importance. Now he's dancing. Okay, anyway, he's being a little silly. So we have the Three of Wands here. And the reason why it's reversed is it tells me here is that, yeah, they may have found some sort of election fraud when it comes to the Russians. However, there is no significant proof that proved otherwise. So therefore, there is no statute limitation that can be placed upon him. However, what they did find is they did find the obstruction of justice against Donald Trump, which is why it is very significant in the long run. We have here is we have the Fool card, right? And if the Fool card is Donald Trump wasn't really thinking, but let's be real here. The card tells me here that he was a mastermind when planning it. Now, he may not be the smartest, but any guy who wants to get away with a crime automatically knows that if you are stupid enough not to do the crime, you got to get people who know how to hide the crime, like a lawyer, stuff like that. People in position of power that can make sure that you get away with it, even if you're stupid enough to do it. And so that's what I'm seeing here, is that will there be potential charges of crime? And I kind of see here, yes, Donald Trump put people in charge. So I don't believe as of right now with this question that he will be charged with the statute of limitation. Now, we do have a couple more questions that may change that answer. We do have here, we have the Star card. Now, this is my presidency card. This is the futuristic card, right? And the thing is here, it tells me that this is where we are now, right? Donald Trump won 2016, not really. We have here the Fool card, right? He put people in positions of power to help him get away with crime. This was the past. Now this is our present, what used to be our future. And so the fact that the Star card comes up here, it tells me here that the Star card is the presidency card. But the fact that it's reversed tells me it has to relate to private citizens. And so we also have here as well, we have the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands here, specifically, it tells me that there is some sort of, some sort of sense that Donald Trump may try to flee or try to almost get away with it. Like, he doesn't necessarily need to flee in the physical sense, but he flees because he got away with it due to time. Time got away. High style or something, love, right? And we also have here the Ace of Swords. Now, this could be multiple two things. It could mean that the statute of limitation goes against Donald Trump and beats him and puts him in a very tough position. Or this could mean that that he beats the statute of limitation and the potential charges of obstruction and gets away with it. There's two meanings to the card. Now, as for the ending and the bottom of the card here, we have the Page of Cups. This card symbolizes President Biden. President Biden, DOJ, specifically Merrick Garland, has to initiate it. He has it. He has the evidence. He has some in the cup. While he has the fish, but it's not doing anything about it. So if you want to know who's at fault, it will be Merrick Garland, because he could easily prosecute him if he wanted to. And so that is what I'm seeing. That's what the cards are saying, that he has the potential to prosecute him. But if Donald Trump is not prosecuted, it's going to be all because of Merrick Garland. Which honestly, at this point, it feels like there's some sort of love fest between the two, because it's a little weird. Okay, so will President Biden or Madam President Harris pardon former President Trump? Now, I covered the question before, and I don't remember what I guessed, so it'll be interesting to see. And now we're going to kind of break this question into two parts. We're going to break it into President Biden and a potential President Harris if she ever became president. Now he's dancing. He's bored. Will President Biden pardon former President Donald Trump on obstruction for obstruction? Okay. Will President Harris charge will President Harris, Madam President Harris, if she were to become president, will she pardon former President Donald Trump on the charges of obstruction? Okay. Are you playing music? Okay. No, you're not playing music? Okay. It might just be the computer. Okay, so we have here for President Biden, whether or not he's going to pardon Trump. We have the Ace of Cups. At first I thought, okay, this seemed like a gift, like a parting gift. Also, it's like, all right, we're going to let you go. We're going to keep you shut up. But almost like we're going to cut you a deal and you go away. Yeah, I understand. He can be a little bit distracting. We'll see. We'll see what other people say. I'll try to lower his volume next time. So we have the Ace of Cups here. And the Ace of Cups here kind of tells me the fact that, can you go to sleep, buddy? You want to go to sleep? Okay, so the Ace of Cups. And so what the card tells me here that President Biden may or may not pardon Trump. And the reason for this is it kind of feels like it's a political motive here. It's a political move. And the thing is, President Biden knows it's not the right move, but if it helps the country in the short term, he might just do it. And that might be very dangerous going forward. But again, Biden needs to do what he thinks is best for the country at the time it was he is president. We also have here Temperance. It feels like, if anything, it's a no from Biden, particularly. But it also tells me if he was to pardon Trump, it wouldn't be in the way that he thinks it's going to happen. It feels like in some way or some point he's falling asleep. Okay, so here's Temperance. And the Temperance card tells me here that yes, but also no. And it tells me that if Biden pardon Trump, it's going to be because of political motive to try to shut them up. But it's going to backfire. It's not going to work. Now, if President Madam Harris became president, the vice president, and became president, well, she pardoned Trump. We have here the Magician. She has the ability to do it. She has the power to do it. However, we have here, this relates to the Muller Report, which is also, I believe, was upside down as well when it comes to the Muller Report. So we have here, she has the potential to pardon him, or she might just do it. She might, yeah. If Harris was president now or sometime within the next couple of months, she will pardon him. And it will be pretty devastating, either particularly to her, as she would be kind of seen as Christian cinema and kind of almost like backstabbing the Democrats, basically, and doing the wrong thing, and at least in people's eyes. And we have here the Queen of Wands. So if anything, it will be Kamala Harris that would pardon President Trump, not Biden. That's interesting revelation here. All right. You don't have to worry. He can no longer be distracted, so he can just sleep in. All right. So let's ask the next question as well. Will President Biden DOJ, led by Merrick Garland, charge President Trump on federal obstruction charges now that he's considered a private citizen? Let's see. Will President Biden DOJ, led by Merrick Garland, charge President Trump on federal obstruction charges now that he's a private citizen? Can you answer that, Spacey and Angel? Okay, so the first card that comes out is, it can go either way. Like I said, Merrick Garland has the opportunity. He has the power to do it. The question is he going to do it? Because Merrick Garland, as I know right now, is not interested in whatever Donald Trump is. I almost feel like Merrick Garland protecting Donald Trump in some way. I don't know why. Okay, so, a Temperance card comes up again. So the reason why we have the card here, it kind of tells me that, yes, there's some sort of victory, right? This is a Biden victory. The Democrats won, yay. Yay, now we can finally charge President Trump. That's why we all came out and voted, right? That's the past. The president, well, was the former president. We have here the end of a political future, the end of a dynasty, end of democracy in some way. This is January 6th, right? We realize the obstruction and the greed that takes place. Now, this is the card that resembles the DOJ, right, when making a decision. And I said before, it feels like Merrick Garland is protecting Trump in some way. We have here payment. We have here doing the right thing, and this is the Democratic Party, and here's a Republican giving money to an independent, which is technically the DOJ is supposed to be independent investigator, and therefore it kind of potentially could mean that he's getting bribes or is being lobbied to not do something, which could explain why he's not going after Trump. But we have here the Temperance card. No. Well, the DOJ charged Donald Trump on obstruction of charges. No, DOJ will not go after Donald Trump. And it's all because of money. It feels like he's wallowing in wealth now. That it almost feels like he used that position to kind of almost like in some way or some form threaten people. And by threat, I mean very lightly go on like the media forum that say he's going to go after Trump. And Trump's like, so shit, I'll give you money, but you don't do anything. And he's like, okay, it could be one of his plans all along just to get money. Like he could be in it for the money. I never really trusted Merrick Garland. I always felt like something was off about him, and the cards seemed to say too. Now, I always keep my opinion to myself, or I'll tell you guys in advance. I then read the cards, and the cards can tell me something entirely different. The reason for that is so that my opinions don't bleed into the cards. So that's why I tell you prehand. Okay, so will Congress extend the statute of limitation on Donald Trump? Now, the reason for this is if they extend the statute of limitation, what they can do, indeed, is that they can have more time to find Donald Trump and make him be charged for obstruction. So let's see. Will Congress extend the statute of limitation on Donald Trump for obstruction? Okay, we have that here. We have lobbying. We have Biden, the DOJ, Queen of Swords. Interesting. I feel like we have major players here. Major players. Okay, so it kind of feels like this is a time. I feel like we're entering the multiverse here. So just hold your horses. We have here the card that comes up that resembles the Congress, right? We have lobbying. The Six of Pentacles. That's sideways. That's the challenge, lobbying. We have here a lot of these people are pretty much brought out, or their loyalty lies within the party and not lies with the people who elected them. We have here the King of Cups, which is President Biden or the DOJ or Stephen Breyer, which is why this card comes up. And then we have here the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords kind of tells me about incumbent defeat. But in this case, it kind of feels like President Biden is defeated on something. This could be what President Biden is. Now, this could mean that President Biden is victorious, but because the card is upright for him, which is him sitting upright, it tells me that Biden is defeated, right? Now, that could mean in a literal sense that he is literally defeated and he passes away. It could also mean as well that he lost a battle of some sort. We have the Queen of Swords, which is Kamala Harris, because I saw Kamala Harris come in after that. And here is her as Madam President, which could explain why I asked a particular question earlier today about Madam President tapping into the potential possibilities. Now, please keep in mind, this is one outcome of millions, right? But this is the one that with the current energy is most likely to occur as of now. That could change tomorrow. We have here as well, the card that came out next was the Smooth card, going from trouble to smoother, calmer waters. Now, will Congress extend the statute of limitation? It feels like in some way there's some sort of drama or news outlet that kind of like hides and puts us under the back burner. Like it wasn't one of the main issues. And that could potentially be because of the death of the president, right? Which is why the Four of Swords comes up. Now, I could see a possibility where Biden just died and it's just a coincidence and that all this plays into effect. Now, this could mean two things. And it could mean that President Biden, even though he passes away, could mean that he's also victorious because now President Kamala Harris can use it as sympathy to get empathy from those to vote in favor of statute of limitation to extend it so they can charge Trump. Now, that could be what they can use. They can potentially use it in a bad way, but in a political way to try to get people on their side because their leader died, so to speak. We have here as well the card that comes next is the Tower card, and that's reversed. It tells me kind of like some sort of upset. So this is kind of like, again, it's like breaking news, but it's not as big of the news that you would expect. Now, this doesn't mean President Biden died. You know, I did mention that. It also could potentially mean that the idea of him dies. So, for example, it could mean like Reagan, even though Reagan dies, his ideas still live on. It could also be in the terms of potentially Biden still living, but no, his ideas die early. Kind of, it could be the flip reverse, the opposite. So that's why this card could potentially come out. Now, as for this one in particular, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the 8 of Pentacles. And now this is somebody who's working. Somebody who's working on something. Potentially, it could mean that they will extend the statute of limitation. As for the bottom of the card here, we have the World card. It's kind of up to the people in all different forms of government to come to a coalesced agreement whether or not they should extend the statute of limitation. It does not answer that specific question alone. So again, that's all I see in today's video. I do hope you guys like today's video. Don't forget give us a thumbs up and hit the like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of today's video. Let me know what your favorite food is, of course, and whether or not you like Spacey. In the next video, now that you mentioned it, I will indeed lower the volume and hopefully he will be less distracted. Anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful night. Stay safe. I'll see you soon. Don't forget to put on your reminders. On Friday, I will be going live talking about the future of the Voting Rights Act. And yeah, other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.